All right, I think we are up and running. I think we are somewhat set. Just check to make sure I've got the. Looks like I got it going. All right, we're up and running. We're gonna start about 5 minutes or so because I gotta pop the chat window out. Sorry, I'm stuff. Right. There we go. This is a 15 with Farkle that I came up with 6 minutes ago. So start in just a second. I'm just letting this thing kind of load. All right. I'll be talking to myself and I'll get somebody to pop up here. Everyone in Discord wanted a piece of this action. I'm checking Discord to let everyone know. All right. Sorry, it's a little boring for this one. So I'll start in just a sec. All right. Hope everyone's doing well. This is a bit of a apparently I haven't done this in like 6 months, and apparently YouTube streaming has, increased their structures and increased their flexibility. So that's kind of cool, actually. All right, got a lavalier mic. All right, 15 with Farkle. Let's see what we got going on here. So today, I thought it'd be fun to talk about one of my favorite scales to use for like gritty action stuff, and that is the Octatonic Scale. The Octatonic Scale is relatively easy to figure out. I have my template loaded. We'll see if this actually does something that's good or if it's not gonna cause trouble. But what it basically does is it allows you to kind of move in a way that feels tonal, but is not based upon the old classical idea of like 1-4-5-1, 1-5-1, 2-5-1, that kind of stuff. And you can probably see like my little. It's a really simple scale. It's also called a scale that I think is called like not equal temperament, but like it's like intervallically equal. So there's two ways to do the Octatonic Scale. One is to do a half step, whole step, and the other is to do a whole step, half step. So you do start in C, do a whole step, then a half step, then you do a whole step, then a half step, then a whole step, then a half step. And if you do that, it's symmetrical. That's what it is, symmetrical. So it all shows up and kind of ends up fitting in the space of an octave. So the two ways to do it are, you're on the C, you start with a half step, then a whole step, then a half step, then a whole step, then a half step, then a whole step. And a lot of jazz guys love to use this stuff. You can do all this stuff where it's like that kind of stuff. And it's cool. But what I like about it is, and what's kind of cool is, so if you have this kind of thing, what you end up being able to do, if you start skipping notes in the scale, so C, I'll skip the C sharp and go to the D sharp, and then I'll skip a couple notes and I'll get to the G. You can build these triads, but the way the triads work is they're a third apart. You guys see this starting to sound. Oh, Rotho's here. What's up, Rotho? So yeah, so you right off the bat, you can see that what you can build from this is 4 triadic structures that are a minor third apart. And that's already starting to sound like some Hollywood action music. What I also like about it is because of the symmetrical portion, every one of those triads can be major, minor, or major. So you can go. So we'll do levels upon levels. Let's start that basic thing. So what that means is what you get very simply by just working these chordal stacks. Don't think about it like a scale. Think about it like these chordal stacks. You get the ability to quickly create music that feels good to the ear because it's all based on triads. So we like triads. We can do. But is also not diatonic in the traditional classical music sense. Now, give me a sec here. Yeah, what you can do. Oh boy, I have to work on this, but yeah, there's another level that we're going to play with in a second. But right off the bat, I'm in the middle of working on a feature film right now. I just started. I'm starting to get some kind of things into my wheelhouse. And one of the things that I'm starting to get with is how do I get mysterious sounds which don't sound like they're in a key but also still sound triadic. And I listed a couple of reference scores for this. The three big reference scores that I'm using is Jaws by John Williams, Jason and the Argonauts by Bernard Herrmann, and Predator by Alan Silvestri. Predator. And you can hear I'm kind of like banging out with that right now. And one of the things that I like what Alan does with, first of all, we're going to nerd about Alan Silvestri for a second. The dude uses the Octatonic Scale like all over the place. Okay. For example, the Back to the Future, the whole thing of the whatever this thing is. Those are two chords that are, and I'm sorry, I'm using my like partially built template, so it's kind of a little bit funky, but he's basically using two chords that are a tritone apart. Well, a tritone is two of the four chords of the octatonic scale. So he'll go like that kind of da 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 da. All that stuff is being done using the octatonic scale. So like right off the bat, that's his awesome modus. But also, as you kind of heard me in like for his action music, he uses a lot of like that stuff in Predator, where it's like that kind of stuff. But what he also does, which is really cool, is he does a lot of stuff in Predator using the octatonic scale, where he'll make these little figures, and he'll just move a third away in the octatonic scale. So he'll do a kind of this kind of like. So it's actually really versatile for like these kind of mysterious kind of stuff. You can really hear it if like, and I'm sorry, I don't have any this. I loaded this up because it's I kind of like playing with these sounds, but I don't have any ensemble stuff loaded yet. But you'll get a lot of these kind of like tremolo stuff, Yay, my sous vide is at 129. Yay. So let's listen to an example of this, of like how Alan uses this to create some mysterious stuff. Let's go find Predator. And I'll hopefully not get any trouble for, doing this whole thing with the. Oh my God, we're actually, this is going to become a little miniature Predator thing. Oh, here we go. So this is the mystery cue, which I'm lifting fairly shamelessly when I do this. Boom. Boom. I'll go down to the violas for this. So if you listen, boom, we'll listen to it again because it's so good. Yeah, I'm on Reaper now. Yay. Reaper's cool. Listen to this little niblet of it. Okay, just listen. This is the mysterious when they're finding evidence that the predator has actually been there. So here he is. So what's he doing? He's got a G minor chord. And then G minor, down a third to an E minor. People are like, oh, that's some sort of like non-tonal harmonic motion. No, Alan is just using the octatonic scale. Absolutely. And he, super easy. And then then once you have those chords, then little returning neighbor notes and little fudgy things can be really fun for this. And there's a little bit of grit, and there's a little bit of passing tilter. See, look, and Alan, once you say it once, da, 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 da. So he does the same thing. So first he does da 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 da. Then he does da 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 da. So I mean, like once he uses the gesture once, and if you listen to what he's doing, he's using the 4 roots that you find in the octatonic scale. He's using G to E, G to E, C sharp to B flat, C sharp to B flat. Hey, Nugget, how are you? I know. There's a meta discussion here, which is my bookshelf. I don't know if you guys can see, my bookshelf collapsed a week and a half ago. And so because of that, I bought a new bookshelf, and it arrived on Monday, and I have to take some time the weekend to kind of set it up. But if you look back there, you'll see Catherine's artwork for our D&D group, which is very, very cool. Yeah, it's awesome. Say hi to the gang. Rob's there. You can say hi to Rotho.
Saying hi to?
Rotho, Rob. He's over in London. So you can see that it's a very powerful, mysterious sound, the octatonic scale. If you find those 4 chords, which are all minor thirds apart, so it's, looking for, in this case, Alan's in G, so it's G, B flat, C sharp, and E. You just play. I mean, you have a lot of fun with this. It's so simple. This just sounds mysterious. And then again, if you use common tones, so for example, the G minor, G, B flat, D, G, also has the G in common with the E minor triad. So what I'll do sometimes as I'm playing with this with the vampires themes, because this is a movie about vampires, I'll do a G to F sharp, little kind of like little ostinato-y, wiggly figure. Right? So what I've done there is I've done G, and this is a G, G, F sharp, G, F sharp, G, F, and then it moves to. Oh yeah, the frog hero's there. That's right. It totally is. So this octatonic scale is really good for those kind of mysterious things. And if you just suck up time in a mysterious kind of like, well, what's happening in this weird little world where there's vampires? Because apparently there's vampires in the movie that I'm working on. This is a great place to. And Bernard Herrmann uses this all the time. He does it in, in fact, he does it in Jason the Argonauts. However, it's also really useful for chunky action cues. Because it's really easy to sit on these pads and kind of like play around with these kind of like, long, beautiful chords kind of stuff. But when you turn it into staccato, chunky brass stacks, you can get these kind of things. Now, Alan's doing another thing which is really cool, which is Alan's doing like a weird rhythmic hocket where it's like 5/8, 7/8, 3/4. But if you listen on this particular cue, he's taking the same idea and he's just making it into these quick little brass stack hits, which I'll I'll check the trombone too for this. But if you take a listen. So now the bass is doing the same thing. And I'm gonna go have another beverage before I do this. That is a super, super muscular. Hey, Rotho, I have a great night. This is late. Well, I'll tell you why it's running late, actually. Go hang with the family, but totally, it'll be archived later unless Alan Silvestri's people call it out. So have a great night. So the reason, by the way, Rob, I had to do this late is because I just did a 3-hour seminar with my EIS students, and we did a talk about film scoring and about strategy and stuff. And that was from 1 to 4. And then what's his face? Guffey was like, oh, you do the Farkle Friday? And I was like, yeah, I'll do 15 minutes with Farkle. And, we're going to only do about 5 more minutes of this. But, so it's just kind of a quick throwaway, fun thing to do. So, so here's Alan doing these trombones look a lot. Dan Dean. No, you know what? For this one, the sonic implants are better. They got a bite to them. Right? What are the 3 I can do? So, in this particular one, what Alan is doing, he's now set up this kind of he's kind of set up this opening groove in the Octatonic scale. So once again, he's playing with the G and the E. Bum, bum. Let me get the barrel. Right? That kind of thing, right? And then what he's doing is he's doing the same idea of, but instead of being long chords, he's just doing what brass does well, which are these double and triple tones. Kind of that kind of stuff, right? So all he's doing is moving between these triadic stacks that you can build from using the octatonic scale. Just like if you were using the diatonic scale, you can do these really nice diatonic chords. I can build chords from the scale. You can build chords and you can progress through chords in the octatonic scale. You have to think about it like you would with the diatonic major scale or the diatonic minor scale, which is like, I can go from this chord to this chord. It's just a relationship within the scale. So that allows you to create some stuff. In this case, what Alan does is he makes it nice and chunky. So it's like, sorry. There it is. So you can start to hear when you take this little tiny chunk of octatonic work and you just move chords between them, you get that kind of Alan Silvestri very easy sound. And then, of course, if you want to add these little neighbor notes, like there's my G minor triad, B flat, D, and G. If I take this B flat and I move it up, because the octatonic scale allows you to do both major and minor, I can go, sorry. And you start to get these really interesting little, these kind of ideas. So that's what the octatonic scale is. It's a little fun thing to do. And I'm working with it right now in the movie that I'm working on for a lot of these kind of things I was talking about. This little, So I'm playing around with that a little bit. But the other thing that's really fun with this is if you choose to treat it like a scale and build some melodic stuff with the scale, you can create some really interesting melodic ideas. And this is the best way to think of it. Alan takes the same idea and by loading up the octatonic scale as a scale, just like a major scale or a minor scale, and he's not even over the top trying to be super advanced with it. He's just literally playing, here's the octatonic scale. Okay, so there it is right there, all nice and big. There we go. So those first 3 notes are the first 3 notes of the octatonic scale. He just goes. That's basically what it is. Right? First 3 notes of the octatonic scale. Now the melody comes in. The melody are 3 notes on the higher side of the scale. So right off the bat, you can see the octatonic scale actually has a lot of use to also make oh shoot, whatever. It's been a while since I've done this. It has a lot of usage for melodic fragments, and it sounds really wild, but it still sounds good to the ear because of the symmetrical nature of it. And because you can still build triadic structures out of it. There's a sense of familiarity with it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Yes, Rob's back. So that was my. I just showed Sarah how to give the finger emoji. I'll show you later. So you know, that's a that theme is so awesome. It's so good. Now the last thing I'll tell you about the octatonic scale is kind of fun. I'm sorry I didn't have my open Farkle Friday window because you could have seen my template, which is kind of cool. One thing that people do with this is they build chords out of it. Oh, Catherine, your mom is calling. Your mom's calling. I just heard the whistle. So what they'll do is they'll build these chords. Oh, by the way, Wayne, hey, no, I am recording and posting this. It's going to be a Farkle Friday. Look, it's been like 6 months since I've done this. There's a reason for it. It's not a bad reason. I'm just trying to figure some stuff out. But what a lot of people do is they'll just do chords. It sounds great. It's super dramatic. Danny Elfman does it a lot too. I like, once I build the chords, trying to leave a chord tone and get back to it. And I learned that from Alan Silvestri and Judge Dredd. He'll do stuff like this where he'll go like, and then I'll do like. So I really like that idea of like, when you start with your chords that you've built and you're building these patterns, you know, that kind of thing. Doing some stuff where there's like some like non-chord tones and you're moving back into and out of the chord tone, but using the octatonic scale. So that's you got to find the places for it. That's really kind of cool. Like you know, I might use that for like when the scientist is figuring out, because there's a scientist dealing with the vampires in this movie that I'm working on. So that's kind of a cool thing. If you throw that in string, like, you know, let's throw in Symphobia. Let's have some fun with that. Symphobia is good. Everyone's, oh, it's outdated. I'm like, I don't know, man. That thing sounds really good. That thing sounds really good. What did I do it for? really voice this properly. God, it's so loud. That's the problem that I have. Symphonia is so loud because it's an ensemble patch. That kind of stuff. So anyways, that's some stuff you can do with the Octatonic Scale. It's a lot of fun. And it really works for action. Oh my God. It's like, if you need to like bang out an action cue quickly, all right, brass ensemble short note. Let's have some fun with this. We'll go back to Symphonia. I don't use this right now. Staccato. It's, it's not perfect because it really stacks, but like, wait. There it is, right? I mean, there's your action cue right there, right? And the last thing I'll say about this is, don't be afraid to not put the root in the left hand. There's a big difference between a G minor triad here, and a G in the bass, and a G minor triad, and a D in the bass. So you can create some really cool stuff. So let's say I'm going from like a G minor to a B minor, to an E minor, to a B flat minor, right? No, an E minor to a, well, here's what I'm gonna do. You can kind of see it over here. I'll do a G minor, then I'll do a B minor, E minor with a B in the bass, and then I'll do a B flat minor with a C in the bass, with a C sharp in the bass. And you get these lines, you know what I mean? Like it's like dun, 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 kind of thing. And you get these like, you get these really weird bass lines that are just kind of fun. I wouldn't make a theme out of that, but for like quick little transitional stuff, it can be a lot of fun. But there's nothing wrong with just staying on the root. It's like there's Insta Silvestri, right? It's a lot of fun. It's just like it's almost cheating, right? It's almost cheating. So I don't know. That's that. I got 50 with Farkle and I'm already at like 30 minutes. So long and short is I'll wrap up after this because it's just a little fun thing to think of. You can do a lot of fun stuff with the Octatonic Scale. Writing themes. My God. All right. So let's do it. I'll do Alex. We'll do Alicia's keys. It sounds amazing. It's fine. So a theme for Alicia's keys. There's like a what lies beneath kind of Bernard Herrmann sound, right? Yeah. So now you get this. Sorry. And then you get this kind of sound. They do. Yeah. So you can mess around with that a lot, actually. That's good. But I won't lie to you. When I think of Octatonic and I think of using it in action cues, all I can think of is it's just so perfect, So listen. Anyways, 15 with Farkle. That was it for the weekend. I'll try and get back. I may have to just do this every week because it's just fun. If you have something you'd like to kind of nerd out about and talk about, just throw it in the comments. Or, contact me through all the Discord and all that stuff, and then we'll see if we can do 15 with Farkle. But, Wayne, a question. I'll answer that question. Wayne, you can mix Octatonic Scales melody from one scale and harmony from sure you can. Yeah, you totally can. Although, the truth is, they tend to overlap. Like, if you do the Octatonic Scale and they kind of, a lot of stuff overlap. The big thing is to avoid a minor ninth. As long as you can avoid a minor ninth, I mean, you can literally go, C major and a B flat or a B major against it. That'll work, You totally mix the stuff. But to start with, if you start with the octatonic scale, there's nothing wrong with just using the octatonic, building those triads, a couple of neighbor notes, and then just moving through those. Again, it's a little bit of a blunt hammer, but for Predator, Predator's not exactly a model in subtlety, you know what I'm talking about? But yeah, you can totally mix octatonic scales, but start with just exploring one octatonic scale. Look what I just did there. Like you can build a lot of really interesting stuff. The last film that I did, which was called, it was either called Blood Brothers or Mind Rage because they had a working title and they changed it to something else. I did all this Bernard Herrmann stuff and everything was done in the octatonic scale. Kind of this. That kind of like dark, spooky kind of stuff because it was a psychological thriller. It was like a Basic Instinct kind of thing. So, anyways, it's just something fun. And again, just to reincorporate, it's really easy to work with the octatonic. Start on a note, and then just go build up half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. Build triads out of that. Whatever. No, that's not it. Whatever it is. And this is why I like to write things out so I can actually see what's going on. And then just kind of bang out some chords, have some fun with it. So, yeah. Oh my God. Oh, you know what, Wayne? For Halloween, let's talk about how great it is for Halloween. Let's. All right. Last thing I'll do, and then we'll do Farkle Friday to be done because I got to go spend time with my girls. I love you guys, but let's get a celeste going. Okay. Orchestral, percussion, celeste. So. Wayne, that's a great thing. Let's get versatile. Here's my and let's throw that. Let's throw it in the back there. So here we are in Danny Elfman land, right? There's your 4 triads you can build really simply. I mean, there's your like spooky Halloween right there. And I was just literally, by and large, I threw a couple of random chords in there in the end just to kind of mess around. But you can totally build this very fun and spooky Halloween vibe with the right instrument and an octatonic scale. Right? And if you add neighboring notes, now you got this kind of Hellraiser-y kind of thing going, which is really cool, Hey, Tony, how are you? Oh, yeah. No, it's all right, man. This is just a fun 15 with Farkle, So, yeah, use the octatonic scale. I'm using it for muscular action cues, but you're totally right for the Danny Elfman mysterious Halloween stuff. Totally works that way. Now I got a couple of quick cues and just like make some money off it. That's a good thing to call off on that. All right. Yeah, Wayne, good call, man. Thanks for giving me the inspiration of that, brother. That was really, really cool. All right. Everyone go. I'm going to go. I've got some Chobot. Should know I've got some sous vide filet mignon going. If you've not looked up sous vide, it's this amazing way to cook meat in like this awesome vacuum seal bag thing. Tony, it's great to see you. Yeah, I miss these too. I need to get back into them. I'm doing some interesting stuff with my career, and it's more of an artist kind of career. And I'm trying to research where I'm supposed to be online. And YouTube is very strong, but the course that I'm studying is saying Facebook Live. So you might be seeing more Farkle Fridays with Facebook Live. I don't know yet. But I should really get back and do this because it's a lot of fun. And I'm in the middle of like studying a lot of like really cool film scores, and I'm like, why not just share it? All right. On that note, gentlemen and ladies, have a great night. Be well, take care of yourself, and I will see you at the next Farkle Friday, which will be sooner than just 6 months. Oh, thanks, Wayne. All right, you know what? I'll get back into this. Even the 15 with Farkle is a good 20 minutes of my time. It's a good idea, and I'll go a little earlier this time. This last time I was doing some private teaching with a couple of students, and we were talking about film scoring, and that went from 1 p.m. my time to about 4 p.m. my time. So that's why I was a little later. Usually I can get in at 2:30 or so. All right, man, I'll get back into it. It'll be fun. All right, have a great night, everybody. Go and celebrate time with your friends and family, all right? Later on. Oh, no, chill out. You missed it, baby. You need to watch it later. Bye.